All right. Good morning. Uh, no, it's not morning. It's nighttime, actually. It might be morning for you, though, in which case, good morning. And, welcome to another episode of the Spectre of Anti-Blackness. Actually, our first one this year. So hooray for that. Um, I've been busy, y'all. I don't know if anyone actually still watches or listens to this thing. But I'm not really doing it for, the listens. I mean, I want people to listen to it. That's why I do it, but I don't, you get it. Like, it's not outward satisfaction. Like, oh, where's all my views? Like, just saying things maybe people want to hear that I feel like I gotta say. And today's no different. It is, it's halfway through Black History Month. Apparently today is something that they're calling like, I don't know, like it's like some Negro holiday before February 14th, before Valentine's Day. It's like Black Love something, Negro Love, I don't know. Um, I don't know anything about that. But my birthday came and went. I wanted to do an episode that day, but I've been busy. I've been doing stuff. Stuff's been happening, and then I've also been doing stuff. I'm 25 now, though. Uh, I'll put in like a little cheer, like a little hooray sound effect here, maybe. Thank you, thank you. Um, I'm about a fifth of the way through my life. Very fun. Who is very excited to see what happened next. Anyway, that's enough preamble. I wanted to release an ep. Last year, I went kind of hard on Black History Month. Kind of because it's Black History Month, kind of just because I had the time and resources and such to do it. Um, I I've been watching movies and TVs and video, YouTubes and such. I don't really care that much about Black History Month. It's indicative these days of the performative wokeness, which I'm not a fan of. Um, you know, Juneteenth is like Cinco de Mayo. It's like, oh, let's sell. Oh, it's like a black. It's like which month is the gay month? Is that June or July? One of those. I think it's July. They have like the gayo instead of the mayo. It's like all rainbow and stuff. Like they're doing shit like that. Like, bro, I don't care. I'm pretty sure Wakanda Forever was released on Disney Plus like February 1st, and like that's not a coincidence. I still haven't talked about that movie. I wanted to get guest stars to talk about that one with, but maybe I'll do that one alone. We'll see. I don't know yet. Um, but yeah, I'm not going hard this Black History Month like I did last Black History Month. But it's also like, it's a double-edged sword. There's two sides to this argument, to this coin. Because on the one hand, it's all like performative and such, but on the other, it's a good time to learn things and, you know, that just made me think of Abbott. Which we might get to. It's not what I wanted to talk about here today, but you know. Anyway, let's get into it, I suppose. Uh, Recently I watched a movie. I got a lot of movies on my list that I wanted to watch, not just for the cast, but just like because I want to see them. Blue Collar, uh, The Spook Who Sat by the Door. Others are on this list. These old. I don't know if this is blaxploitation or pre-blaxploitation or post or whatever. Probably not post, but this genre of or at least like this area of pro-black media, kind of like 70s type era. Tangent. I've been like, I've fallen to the 70s hole and I can't get up. It started arguably uh, this record. I saw it first as a YouTube video, but it is a record. Um, that celebrates kind of like the dialect of the Black American, of the African American. I think it was made in the 70s, if I'm not mistaken. Um, and then, I like to listen to it. It's like one of my favorite records slash YouTube videos. It's a celebration of like black culture in a way that we don't really think of. I think it's called. Actually, give me a minute. I'll look. Okay, yeah, it is called The Dialect of the Black American. It's got like a blue background with the black boy on the front. Um, Bust, like shoulders up. Uh, it's excellent. And I appreciate the lingo of our folks. You know, it's appreciated. It's not lost on me. Which is kind of like, a battle I've been through in my life because I remember when I first moved to South Carolina as a kid at like 6, 7 years old. I was like, I remember refusing in my brain, like, I do not want a Southern accent. Not because, it was like associated with blackness, but Southernness and racism in my brain, even though, that's not true at all. That's propaganda and such. Anyway, it arguably started there. And then I kind of got into maybe the fashion next. I started like, well, I started vinyl collecting. I don't know if that's related to this. I think it is. Um, First, but like it was unrelated, but it happened around the same time because a girl that I knew had bought "Awaken My Love" on vinyl, but not the box set edition. It was like just I think maybe a reprint, or that's that what it's called? Re repe. There's a word for this. It's a P word, I think. I can't remember what it is. Um, Maybe it is reprint. Anyway, then I went out and got the original box set. I like when the music is actually analog, because, like, what's the point of listening to vinyl if it's just going to be a digital repress anyway? Repress, that's probably the word. Um, just fucking use Bluetooth with a speaker at that point. Um, so yeah, I went out and did that, and then slowly I started with like a little vinyl uh subscription service. This one was just called VNYL vinyl, and they were like, hey, just tell us the things you like, the things you don't like, things you're looking out for, and like any odd things. I put like as many black artists I could think of that like I enjoy, like from back in the day, and new as well. Neo soul, soul, funk, R&B, rap, hip hop, anything I could think of, from Michael Jackson to Mos Def to, you know, and anybody. Um, I told them specifically don't send me any white artists. Um, and no digital represses, you know. Um, and they failed like every time they sent me something. The first time they sent me the Silvers too, which I was like, okay, this is you're on the right track. I thought maybe the next day send me like some Prince, maybe they'd send me some Lauryn Hill. They didn't send me none of that. They sent me like like a Selena or something, or I don't know, some random shit. So I ended up unsubscribing from them because I was just unhappy with everything I was getting. Um, so I downloaded an app called Discogs, which is you use it to like find People sell vinyls and you can buy vinyls. So all the ones that I have now I got from there. I got some of my classic favorites. The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, uh, Black Summer's Night by Maxwell. Uh, got the House EP from Lupe because it was like specifically designed to be a vinyl release. And I got a lot of old school stuff. We got some Teddy Pendergrass over there. We got songs in the Key of Life. Uh, you Are My, what's that one called? Hmm. Anyway, um, yeah. So vinyl collecting came next. Uh, after that, Starship. You Are My Starship. Sorry, guys, it's late. The brain's not always braining fully. But you know that. That's what you came here for. Or maybe you didn't come here for that, but you should be expecting that if this isn't your first episode. If it's your first episode, expect this in the future. It's a sleepy cast. If it's not your first episode, but you first watched all three collab episodes, yeah, sorry. This is what it usually is. Um then I started with the fashion. I started with like the socks, the long what are they called? Tube socks with the stripies and stuff. I thought that was fun. I didn't realize like at the time how slowly immersed in like the 70s thing I was getting. Now I even have like the shorts, like the really short ones, like the imagine like 70s gym chic. Is that how you would use that word? Um so yeah, um I'm kind of assimilating to the 70s for some reason. I don't know what that's about. Regardless, this very long tangent had a point, which was that I watched a movie recently, and a lot of the movies that I want to watch are in this time period. But the movie I watched recently is little flick called Coonskin. I'm a minstrel man, the cleaning man, I'm the pole man, I'm the shoe shine man, I'm a nigga man. Watch me dance. So yeah, Coonskin. I don't really know how to explain this movie. It's very odd. Um, I enjoyed the movie, right? Um, but like, it's really hard to like really fully articulate what I liked about it and why I liked it. I'm gonna try, of course. You know, that's the point of this. Um, I'll say right off the bat that it's definitely a watch. Um, but okay, let me just find out like what I can say about it and go from there. Um, it's made by the guy who did like the Lord of the Rings animated thing, or so it's a movie that's like half animated and half film, kind of like in the vein of like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, you know. Um, it's two different stories. One is like a prison break, and the other is these guys that go into save Harlem. Um, and I can, just I can sit here and tell you different things that happen in it, but it's not really gonna explain, the movie. Uh, it feels like so celebratory of blackness and black culture, and like progressive, especially for its time. It's made by black people. It was like I don't know if this is true, but it has like some of the first uh, black animators in film, men and women. Um, it's rated R, not for kids. If I stop dancing and don't let you blow me anymore in the wind, cause I refuse to come. I'm a minstrel man, dreaming man, but shoe shine man, I'm a nigga man. I've only seen it the one time. I only saw it once, but I honestly enjoyed it so much. This is like top one of my favorite movies. And I'll probably watch it again at some point. I just I haven't yet, but it feels odd because I don't. It's like I'm just repeating myself, and I really don't know what to say about this movie because I don't know how to contextualize it. But honestly, um, if you can find a way to find the movie, definitely watch it. You won't be disappointed. I don't think anyway. I give it a on my little rating scale. I'll give it a 10. I give this movie a 10. I can't really tell you much about it. Not even for like lack of spoiling, because it's like the story of it doesn't even matter that much. You know, um, it's got Barry White in there. It's got Scatman Crothers in it, which I don't know if everyone feels this way, but maybe it's just me. Um, Crothers is like one of the blackest names out there, right? I mean, come on. I don't know. It feels like old timey, I guess. Um, anyway, I think he also did the music. He did some part of the music in Aristocats, which is another classic, but unrelated to this. Um, so yeah, if you find the movie and don't raise the Jolly Roger for this one, go like pay for it, watch it, enjoy it. Keep it. I'm trying to do physical copies of things these days. It started kind of with the vinyl, but like it's expanded out to more things as well. Um, books and DVDs and all that kind of thing. Especially if you really want to support artists, get physical copies of things. Um, so yeah, that's my not really review of coonskin. Name is funny. The poster, you might be like, hmm. But definitely, definitely watch it. It's thought provoking. It's just provocative in general. Um, it is unapologetically black. Um, it's very satirical. It's like really lighthearted in this way. Like it's not one of those films that's like black suffering this and slavery that. It's like still like very black, but it's lighthearted and easygoing and doesn't try to have you know all this sadness and depressedness, even though it's still talking about these significant uh, black things and black issues. It tries to be very real, and it's like a precursor to the Boondocks, I want to say. I compare a lot of things to the Boondocks in this show, or series, or podcast. And I feel like I should probably just talk about the Boondocks at some point. Not today. Maybe I should probably do a rewatch. It's been a few years, a couple years. Um, but yeah, that's all I got for Coonskin. Just watch it. With uh, with light comes dark. With up comes down. With good comes all. Dang. Um, I had an unfortunate revelation recently about what I thought was a really good show. Um, Abbott Elementary. I'm not quite ready to dismiss it just yet. Okay? I'm holding out hope that they can still turn it around. Um, uh, I was sitting watching it one day, and then it just hit me. There are no well, uh, well presented, well represented black men in this show. Uh, then I just couldn't stop thinking about it. Um, I don't really know how far I can get into this because some of it, it's still muddy up there in my brain, but it's not gonna sound as serious as maybe it isn't that serious. I don't know. I feel like I'm not gonna be able to articulate this well. I am gonna try though. All of the men are portrayed um, poorly, and I don't think it's intentional on the part of Brunson. Brunson. Uh, but I feel like maybe like there's something that can be done there. Like maybe this could have been reviewed and looked at. First we start the show. I haven't seen the beginning in a while, so let me just see if I remember this. We start the show. Here's all the black men that we see. First we have her boyfriend, who is like a struggle rapper who takes advantage of her, and not in a sexual way, but like in like a dead weight, bed, dead weight, deadbeat boyfriend kind of way. Um, borrows her car to go to work and eats her food and stuff, and doesn't understand that he's he's kind of he's almost seeming to be like a womanizer, I guess. Like they break up and it's like, dang, that sucks. Alright, I'm gonna go see other people. Bye. In a weird way. Um, the janitor character doesn't really count. He's old and like comic relief. In the vein of like love interests, black men for black women kind of thing. He doesn't really count in that. Um, he's kind of like uh, asexual, funny man who's got some wisdom or whatever. I don't know. There's an archetype there that I'm not fully articulating. Um, we have the superintendent, who the only reason the principal has the job she has is because she caught him cheating on his wife. We have Gregory. I'm finally remembering the names now because I've been watching the show a little more. Gregory, who I believed I talked about this a little bit more in the past episode of Abbott. How he just does Quinta's character. What's her name? No. Fuck. I literally just watched this episode like yesterday. What's her name? Anyway, he does her character dirty. You know, I'm not a fan of how he treats her. It's a little. I mean, yeah, I got some timer, so I guess I can explain it a little bit, even though I'm pretty sure I already have. Um, he kind of keeps her in his pocket in a way, even though it's pretty obvious that she likes him, or maybe he's really just that fucking oblivious. I don't know. But he's constantly. It's the show shows that he knows there's something there, at least from his side, if not also from hers. Which, I mean, duh, of course. Like, unless you're just that unaware. Uh, but he dates these other girls. Um, it's like the Jim and Pam thing if you've seen The Office. Um, he gets introduced and it's like, oh, they're gonna be a thing, but she's with someone, which is the struggle rap guy. Um, and then she finally breaks up with him, but oh no, the guy's with another girl who is the other teacher's daughter, and then he's with another girl. They have a chance to date, but no, he starts dating this teacher's parent. Um, and so she starts dating his friend, who is Vince Staples, who was painted as kind of like a, womanizer in the beginning, but he seems to be better in the recent episode that I saw. Um, the recent episode I saw is why I haven't fully lost hope yet, because um, Gregory is like not quite redeemed, but I'm seeing they're taking the steps towards making things work. So I don't want to call out the show and be like, you fucking failed. You don't know how to treat black men. It's just been troubling up to this point. Um, is Marquise the other guy's name? He's also portrayed well in this episode. It's more just like they're with the wrong people. You know, they're dating each other's girlfriends, not purposefully. It's just she should be with him and he should be with her. They got each other the wrong gifts that the other person would have liked. It's a whole thing. Um, we also have Gregory's dad, who is just like strict, no nonsense, mean guy. Um, we have what's his face's boyfriend? I don't know if that counts for the scenario either. I don't know. It's just representation far and few between. You know, I wasn't a fan of that, but that's not why I didn't like the most recent episode. They did like this really heavy-handed Black History Month stuff. And it's like, um, I was like not quite uncomfortable, but I was just like, what the fuck? Like, you know, it's like, they finally addressed the white teacher thing, which, I mean, but barely. Like, they don't. It's just like a black dad comes in, um, and he's all like, oh, I don't want my kid being taught by a white person Black History on Black History Month. How could you? And then it turns out, oh, this white teacher teaches Black History Month all month. You should respect him. And oh, maybe you just care about it for this month, but he's actually doing it all month around. Did you know that? Um, and like, she sits in on the class, and he's all like, "Oh, of course, as we stated before, kids, as we stated before, like, uh, Malcolm X and MLK really shared similarities in the end. Like, yeah, I know this. Like, it feels very like preachy to the audience in a way. Like, it's it was gross. I didn't like it. Maybe it's the only way some people are gonna get this information. It just didn't seem for me in the way that my favorite medias are. You know, didn't feel like it was for me. Which maybe it isn't. She's getting the Emmys and touches. I don't know. Uh, maybe it's not made for us. I thought it was. Also, real quick, I want to bring up not a movie or TV show, but actually a YouTube. I've been watching FD Signifier. Um, he was first introduced to me by my ex, girlfriend at the time. And I watched, I think, uh, the the Drake video and some of the Dave Chappelle one, and I was like, well, one, this guy's doing exactly what I'm doing on my podcast, and if I validate him, my thing has no meaning. Kind of, that's a joke. Um, but also I didn't completely agree with him on stuff, and I was like, I like what he's doing. I like his thing, but like he's not he's not for me. So I didn't subscribe to him, but every now and then I would come back and like see some of his stuff. I'm like, this is actually good. Um, And now I'm officially subscribed after the last video that he did, broke bread. I was like, you know what? Yeah, he's good. I can't, um, it started, I guess, arguably with like his Black Panther video because I was like, well, we have the same freaking points. I mean, he sees things that I don't. I talk about some things he doesn't. But I was like, dang, yeah. So after that, I've been coming back to see, releases and stuff, and I finally decided to subscribe to him because, I like him. And even one of the things we don't agree with, he makes good points. And I actually do agree with what he said in that Dave Chappelle video. I finally went back and finished it. At first, I was like, what the heck? And then, like, I went back and I was like, you know what? You're right. You helped me see things differently. So, thank you for that. So I just wanted to shout out FD Signifier real quick. I think he does good stuff, and he got me questioning, like, you know, if I really want this to, like, blow up and be popular, and, I want people who think like me to, like, be able to find this and appreciate it and enjoy it and maybe have conversation around it. But at the same time, do I really want to get, like, famous in this space? Like, is that really to my success? Is that a detriment to what, is it the opposite of what I want it to be? So maybe I'll never pop off, and maybe that's good. I never really wanted fame. That's not why I started doing this. You know, I just thought it'd be good to monetize my thoughts. No, just yes, but also just get it out there to the people who want to hear it and should hear it and such. But yeah, FD signifier is good. I think he might be taking a break. I don't know. That wasn't fully clear. But yeah, I'm watching more of his stuff now, so I might come back and talk about more of, like, things that I've seen that he's talked about that, like, maybe I'll have more thoughts on and stuff. I don't know. Just he's another creator I'm adding to my repertoire. I got a lot of guys I watch. And he's on that list now, so his thoughts may influence mine. That's how this whole thing works, so definitely they will. But yeah, that's just a quick tangent about him. That was all. I think that's all I got, though. Getting a little tired. Gotta go to bed soon. And I don't want to make this too long and drag it out for no reason. Q&A. Questions no one asked, but I'm kind of wondering, so I'm gonna just ask them. Will there be another episode this month? Could be. Depends on what the next 2 weeks look like. I do still have stuff in the works that I want to watch. I'm currently not watching much new that could get onto the thing. I'm playing through The Walking Dead, which is pretty black for until it isn't. And then it is again. But never like it's. Lee and Clem are probably my favorite video game duo, especially dad-daughter duo. Joel and Ellie could never. But yeah, they're great characters. They're very real and honest, and good on them. Hogwarts came out. I pre-ordered it before I knew, it was bad to play it. I played it. I'm not done. I mean, what am I supposed to do at that point? They're not gonna give me money back. Am I, would I just bought it for it to sit in my library? I gotta say, I mean, in terms of video game industry and supporting shitty people who've done shitty things, I kind of don't care when it comes to the video game industry. I mean, do you know how many dollars I've given to Blizzard playing World of Warcraft? It's kind of ridiculous. I mean, I don't anymore, obviously. Um, but because I don't play the game anymore, not because like I'm taking a stance against Blizzard. Maybe I should be. Maybe that means something and will amount to something. But I don't know. A lot of crazy shit in the video game industry these days. Activision, Blizzard's fucking insane, but people are still playing Overwatch like it's nobody's business. That's not why I wanted to talk about this, but it was just on my mind. Little preamble, cause I know that's a hot topic right now. I don't usually touch hot topics. Never been in that store. I did work at Zoomies though. They were right next to us. Um, yeah, the blackness is handled odd. I don't know if there's a way they could have done it correctly. I mean, it's not done. All the black characters are African. Game takes place in like 1890, I think. Um, yeah, all the black characters have the African accent, and they come from Ooga Booga School of Witchcraft from Wizardry. Um, it's funny because it feels like they're really trying to do this world so much justice, and a lot of it's really good and fun. But having just one school in Africa is just like kind of fucking insane. Um, Not to mention the one that I think is shared by both the Chinese and Japanese students. Or no, is it Chinese and Indian? Like that school's gonna be so fucking packed. But the African one is the biggest one apparently. It feels like they're taking the source material and they're trying to do good by it. They're trying to buy the people and buy the material. They got their trans characters. They got other things, I assume. Um, but I feel like the game is unfinished. Shocker, right? It's a AAA game and it's unfinished on release. Whoop de doo. Um, but yeah, I feel like they could have focused a little more on like the school aspect of it, like maybe more bully. I don't know. I haven't played bully in years, but I feel like if they had more of like if the daylight cycle mattered more and you could actually sleep and the painting slept and you could actually go to classes every day instead of just when a quest requires it, and the school looked like it was actually filled with kids instead of just like the same five in every corridor, and the biggest place has like maybe 20 max. um you can't actually go eat in the Great Hall. Like there's a lot of little minor things where it's like, I see what you're trying to do here, but you didn't really give me the full Hogwarts experience I was expecting of what you were saying this game was going to be. There's all these little, the open world is huge and there's a lot to do out there, but it's like, yeah, I didn't really care about any of that. You know, the Hogsmeade, sure, that's a thing. The Forbidden Forest, absolutely. Aside from that, did they not make like half this shit up? It's not really that important. I don't care. Um, I've seen, my AI freaking walk in the walls, walk up steps and back down, take really odd paths to get to where they're trying to go. The mouths look terrible when they speak outside of cutscenes. Um, yeah, there's good stuff in there, but it's also just a lot of not good around it as well. Um, I'll finish it and might, you know, talk about my thoughts on it, but My biggest, I'm very upset with the game right now because of all the discourse around it. On the one end, you have people who are like, oh, don't support the game, don't do this and don't do that. And then on the other hand, you have people saying like, oh my God, we're already thinking about this game for Game of the Year. And I'm just upset because this game is not good enough to have all of this press and fucking discourse around it. The Last of Us Part 2, that's a good game. People can argue about that game. And like, the choices it made and how it made you feel, and that's impactful. That's like arguing about like The Last Jedi. Some people hated it, some people loved it, but it was like it meant something and it was good to talk about, and there was feeling behind it. Um, this game is not. This game is not egregiously bad. It is not exceptionally good. It is okay. It is a standard AAA release. It's not gonna be fucking Game of the Year. If it is, Game of the Year is busted. Especially with The Last Survivor coming out. That game's gonna be good, I think. Hopefully we get the Last of Us multiplayer. I'm sorry, I'm doing a game thing. This is not what this podcast is about. Doing more art. My favorite black online Amazon media is In Dangerous Times, Miiriya media. They fallen on hard times. It's hard to raise money. I guess people don't like using a black Amazon when there's a normal, much easier to use Amazon. They got developers and software engineers around the clock trying to make it the perfect buying experience. Over at media, we got one guy who's just like, hey, black people sell your stuff here. Only black people can sell their things. And, I just feel like not a lot of people know about it. I've been on it for at least a year or so now, if not more. I think it's great. I guess that technically counts as my plug. Go to media, support if you can. They got a Patreon, or just buy stuff from people. I've been doing art. I've been busy. I've been doing a lot of stuff, I'm not gonna lie. I think that's all I have to talk about that's related to this. I could just continue on, but that's just gonna be for my own whatever. Yeah, that's all I got to say. So, I prayed that you don't get one of those like swollen tongue nodes, tongue taste buds. Hope those all stay intact. Other than that, good night or good morning, afternoon. Yeah. Thanks for checking this one out and reaching it to the end. I don't know what that does for metrics or demographics or nothing, but I just think it's cool people are actually listening to this. Of course, from what I saw, a lot of it's just people that I know personally. But once that's done, and it's like actual people that like I didn't tell, like, come check it out, and you're like, whoa, people are watching this. So thank you. Yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next one. Maybe catch me on YouTube at Cosmobi if you want to see live streams or past live streams. I do a lot of video games when I can. That's all I got.